Hi, I'm Dave and welcome to Old Dad Studio. Today we're going to tackle that banner that I've been working on for my YouTube channel for Old Dad Studio. And I got to tell you right off the bat, spoiler alert. Using AI actually today for me, it took longer and it was more of a struggle to do it than if I had just hopped into Photoshop and did it myself. But I wanted to use that AI because this, the channel's about AI and I just, sometimes it can be very frustrating. Yeah, and it was today. So what I'm gonna do, I'll take you in through the steps that I followed. And in the end, I did end up doing some of it in Photoshop myself and just added some elements to it in Photoshop. But like I say, if I had just done it, it would have been such a faster process for me to just use Photoshop. So, and I'm going to preface this by saying that it's probably me and not the AI. I just don't know yet. I'm still an infant in this process of using AI. It's just me not knowing exactly how to prompt to get what I really want. I have the vision in my head of what I would like it to be, and I just can't put that to text in a prompt to get the image generator or ChatGPT to respond back to me with what I want. So I think that's what's happening. As I learn more, as I evolve, as I get better at this, as we all get better at this, because AI is going to be part of our lives, then hopefully I'll be able to get some better results. But today it was a frustrating journey. And in the end, I just kind of said, let's just settle for something, anything. And that's what I got. It wasn't the original vision that I had wanted or thought. So, all right, let's dive in. All right, so here you can see here's where I started from. And I started out really generic. Can you make me a new banner graphic for my YouTube page? Please make it the correct dimensions for YouTube. I always have to say the correct dimensions. And even when I say that, you're going to see the image generator doesn't always follow that direction. For YouTube, with the words Old Dad Studio in the center, and below those words, join the journey, which I think is going to be my tagline. The other tagline I've been playing with is Everyday AI. The theme should be technology and AI. And so here's the first one that it drew. And I'll open this up so you can see it a little bit better. I really did not like this, this sad, broken down old man's face up here. I was like, no. I mean, and again, it has that steampunky, cartoony vibe to it. I really do like the Old Dad Studio Join the Journey right in the center. I like that. If I could have just grabbed that, maybe I could have used that. But the rest of it, I didn't like. And so onward we go. My first question was, is that the correct dimension for YouTube? The correct dimension for YouTube is 256 by 1440, which actually is not correct. And we'll see that in a second. I can show you what YouTube says it should be. But the safe area where all the important text and graphics should appear is 1546 by 423 pixels. And YouTube actually gives you a window to show you where that important text should be. So I'll show you a trick here in a second for that. Let me recheck the generated image's dimensions and adjust if necessary. The generated image is 1792 by 10. So, which again, that is not the correct YouTube dimensions. So all of this at this point has to be taken with a grain of salt. There's some things that are worked in or baked into AI that it wants to force things into this certain perspective, especially with the image generator. So I think one of the lessons that I've learned over the last couple of weeks that I've been concentrating on this every single day just for this channel is that the AI is not always right. It doesn't always know or have the correct information that it is giving back to you. So you have to double check. You have to make sure that the facts and things that you are working with AI really are what they are. All right, back to the images. So it was the wrong dimensions, and so it gave me one that was the correct dimensions. But I'm asking it, can you remove the human face and let's make it more bright and happy colors? And so this was the second one that it generated. So this is what that looked like, and it is brighter, but I don't like this one at all. I don't like the scully, technology effect kind of things they got going on for these two skulls in here, and And then it's got join the journey, you know, so just, it doesn't know what to do with text a lot of the time. So it does silly things like that. This one was an absolute no-go. What I decided to do, let's change. And how about a realistic sunset with just the words Old Dad's Studio floating in the air? And so here's that one. And this one isn't bad. I actually thought I might use this one. It's not too bad. The text is kind of jaggedy in here. I didn't like the jaggedy edges of the text, but overall it isn't okay. I don't know what this symbol is here, if that's supposed to be OD, like for Old Dad. So I wasn't sure exactly what was going on there, but overall this wasn't bad. I probably could have used this. And I asked it, can you resize it to fit the YouTube banner? Now it said the sunset banner has been resized to fit the correct YouTube banner dimensions. So here it is. And here it gave me a link to download it. So I downloaded it. However, let me open that up for you. Here's what it did. In order to resize it, it added all this black space around it. Just put it in a big black box and so technically it gave me an image of the right size. So, I mean, technically the size that it says is the size what this image is. However, it is not usable for what I wanted it to be. So, again, is it me? Is it the image generator? A little bit of both? I don't know. All right. Onward to the next one. Can you regenerate that image, but this time make the image large enough to fit the correct dimensions without all the black negative space all around it? So it generated this one, which, first of all, it's not the correct dimensions, even though it tried to spell out what dimensions it was supposed to make it on the image itself. And then this is, yeah, it's kind of a cute picture. I mean, this center section, Old Dad's Studio, I could have cropped that out, I suppose, and tried to use it, but it just is not what I was looking for. Plus, I wanted something more realistic. This is pretty cartoony. In the end, I settled for cartoon. But moving on, here's the next one it generated. Which again, I really like this. This is kind of fun. The text here for studio is kind of janky. And it's not centered, but I kind of like this old westerny theme. And I asked it for a pine forest in Minnesota with a sunset, which it nailed that. So I think this is kind of fun. This is a really nice image. So I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. So let's play with that a little bit. And so we continued on. And here's the next one. Now, one of the things that I'll point out is the reason I'm regenerating these is because please create the image. Here's the dimensions I'm giving it, which these are the correct dimensions that YouTube has posted, 1048 by 1152. So that's the correct image dimensions. But this is not those dimensions. This is 1440 by 1440 or something like that. It's close to that. So this is not the right dimension. So I tell it, it's beautiful. Now can you recreate it in the dimensions of 1048 by 1152? Here's that image with the requested dimensions of 1048 by 1152. No, it is not. Sorry, that's not 1048 by 1152. It would be rectangle if it was those dimensions. And so even though this is again a nice image, pop that one open. It's got again the O1 Studio kind of got funky there, so I would have to clean up some text, which I can do, but it's not the correct dimensions. So it's really struggling with the dimensions. And I have asked it the dimensions, ChatGPT asked it for the correct dimensions, and for some reason, it is just not being able to generate those correct dimensions. Here's the next one. Again, I like this image. If it had come out with the correct dimensions, I probably would have used this again. This is pretty nice. For what I was, at this point, what I was settling for anyway. Next one. Yeah, again, it does a good job. It just missed the boat. So here's where I finally have given up. I've gotten, all of these are the wrong dimensioned. So I'm even asking it, inspect it here, please, for the right dimensions. And here it is. Actually, so I was wrong. It wasn't 1440. It was 1024 by 1024. So all of these were 1024 by 1024. So they're a box, a square. So I finally gave up using the ChatGPT interface, and I just, within the same tool, I just hopped over and went straight to DALL-E. And for DALL-E, my first request was, please generate an image 1048 by 1152 that I can use for my YouTube channel showing a realistic sunset over a large pine forest like we have in northern Minnesota with the words Old Dad's Studio floating in the air. And it nailed it first time. I'm like, oh, that's really nice. I don't like, if I open this up, a couple things I didn't like about this one. I don't like the angle that Old Dad's Studio was placed at. The text, you know, it's kind of janky again, and the lines aren't even, and so it looks, you know, like somebody drew it, not that it was actually generated. So I do like this image though. This is really a nice sunset. I like this picture. They nailed that, so I could certainly use that. The dimensions are correct right off the bat, so that's fantastic. So let's continue on. The next one is this one here. Again, I really like the sunset background over the pine forest. I think it did a fantastic job. The text is a little bit better on this one, but again, I didn't like how it's all smudgy here. And I could try to clean it up, and again, it's at an angle, so I really wasn't jiving on that. So I continued on, and I asked it to give me the sunset, and I was hoping that it would give me this picture or something similar to that, but it gave me this one. And now this one, I chewed on this one for a while, but it actually grew on me. And that's where I stopped using AI, and I reverted into Photoshop. I took that image into Photoshop, and I gave it some finishing touches. And here's the final image in Photoshop. Now, what I was trying to do originally was I wanted to have the sunset kind of peeking out of the D of Old Dad. However, this needs to be structured correctly for the banner and how it works with YouTube. So the words have to be in the center of this image, and I can show you that next. So here we are on the customization for my channel. You can see, this is probably kind of small, but there's the dimensions, 1024 by 1152, so it lists it right there. So those are the correct dimensions that you need. Now, if you hit change here and you want to see, and I'm going to pick my Old Dad banner, which I've got, and this is kind of the cheat that YouTube provides for you. So they show you where it's viewable. So the big image out here is viewable on a TV. So if you're looking at a YouTube channel on a television set, you'll see this whole thing, which it's beautiful, it's lovely, it'll work just great. If you're looking at it on the desk or on a computer, on a desktop, then you'll see this. And then if you're looking at it on all other like mobile devices, your phone, that kind of thing, you'll see just this portion of it. So this text being in the center of your image is important because it works on all three different platforms. And if we view my channel today, you'll see here it is, I'm on my PC, so you can see that just as that the YouTube banner cheat showed us, this is what it looks like on my channel. Now, this isn't necessarily what I was intending to go for today. I really wanted something more technology, more AI, but I got frustrated with the style that it was giving me, and I didn't want to spend a ton of time. I actually wanted this video to be really quick and just to nail it and get vlog 12, boom, done and punted for today. That is not what happened. This has taken way longer than it was supposed to, and I'm still not done with it yet. So I do have a new banner. I did use AI to generate some of it. I went through the process of trying to use it. So I think it fits. And I actually do like the image that we've got. It's a nice image. I don't know that it actually fits the channel or what we're trying to do here, but it's much better than what I had before with the handwriting that was over processed and just didn't look good. So I'm happy with this for today. We'll keep this on the site. One more day of vlogging, one more day of using AI in everyday life, and away we go for hopefully tomorrow, vlog 13. Ooh, lucky 13. All right. All right, and that's it for today. Everybody have a wonderful day, and we will talk to you tomorrow.